before we get into what we're going to get into, what did you tell me to watch this morning?
Well, I need to put on another pair of glasses because I don't have enough eyes to tell you what I saw last night / this morning. Our Father, who not in heaven, but just a Netflix special based off the real life story, Our Father.
All right, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Well, I don't know if that term has a new phrase now. Well, I mean, it has a new meaning to say what the fuck. We saw what the fuck and the fuck and the fuck and the fuck and the fuck. Like,
first thing, I mean, the attorney general is definitely skeezy, right?
That's the biggest monster right there. Big Brother was the biggest monster.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, can't you just see somebody walking by the secretary and the attorney general office saying, "Oh my goodness, I'm a mother," and taking it to the attorney general, and he's saying, like, anytime you get something like that, send it to me. I'll handle it. It's going in my special file.
Yeah, I feel like even the secretary seemed like she was in on it.
Oh yeah.
She kept like, I've been watching a lot of those videos where people are they do the like facial expression analysis and like to determine if somebody's being honest or not. And she was doing all of these kinds of like shaking her head no when she was saying something that was supposed to be a yes, and like she was denying herself.
You're talking about a secretary that worked in his office.
Yeah, the one that was supposedly going to get the samples that weren't being used.
You remember when one of the kids was like, I mean, it's no way you can tell me that working in that office that long, that there's no way you knew nothing. Whoever the editor is great because they cut right back to other doctor like, well, he almost like want to say it's a flip side of that coin.
I thought his partner was in on it until until like the end when he was like, he's evil. If he was right here, I'd say it to his face. And you saw like the realization on that guy. He looked like
correct because like you have to understand
it just hit him.
Because it wasn't the office of such and such. They were partners as far as in that office. And like you say, it's almost, I mean, they weren't as close as me and you are, but it's almost like somebody saying, hey, you know, when David's editing, he's such and such and such and such. And I'm like, there's no way I would believe, put it this way, there's no way people wouldn't think that I didn't know. They like, he knew. So I don't want to put that on that guy. I don't think he knew. I don't think he would agree to do the interview. But when he starts off, he was like, listen, my career wouldn't be where it was at if it wasn't for Dr. Cline. So I was like, yeah. So but seriously,
he has a special place in my heart. He has a special place in a lot of people's bodies.
Right. I mean, when you think about it, all jokes aside, hell, the attorney general could have been one of his sons. That's why no one ever figured nothing out.
I thought that was going to be the twist, that news reporter chick, that it was because she looked like one of the siblings. She had the same look.
Yeah, she did.
A little bit of Botox. Like she looked like her face was going to the gym.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's who Kate Blanchett based her character off of Don't Look Up off of, that lady there. Because I can see that happening. But Kate Blanchett looks much hotter. But yeah. Let's get into it.
One too many times.
Let's get into it. Like, if you guys haven't seen this, like I said, it's on Netflix, and pay attention to the title. So there's a lot of times they'll drop subliminal messages in the title. Yes, it's called Our Father, but in between Our and Father, there's like a little Christ symbol in chalk, faintly seen. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That means the devil's lurking. You only bring out the cross when evil is around. Like it's like I'm trying to do it right now. Hold on.
And it was falling over too.
Oh yeah, man.
Right how it opened up, you knew that it was going to be something different.
My thing is,
but that's what you're putting your opening title over.
But what I'm wondering is are the kids finding this without the parental controls? Because if I'm walking around, I see my kids watching it, I'm not thinking that it's called Our Father. It's on Netflix. It just seems normal. Next thing I know, soft hard porn is going on.
Yeah, that was that's what weirded me out probably more than anything in the whole documentary was how they talked about what was happening. Like, and then he went in and made a sample. It's like you don't church it up. He went in there and jerked his dick. Like he came, and my dad came in there and provided a sample. Your dad went to an office and jerked off. It's so weird how it's like the process is put so clinically. It's jerking off. People are going in there and jerking off, and then they're.
The thing about it is that again, don't get me wrong. You never, and I'll get into this a little later, but maybe I will, maybe I won't always say that. So I'll jump into it right now then. So because I never get back to stuff when I say I am. You never feel bad for him whatsoever, but there is one point to where you're like, okay, I can't see why he did this, but maybe if he had just did it 2 or 3 times, I get why he did it. Because when you find out what happened to this bastard in 63, when he ran over that child, someone was trying to say, well, like, he took a life, he's trying to give life. So for like 0.5 seconds, I was like, oh, so if he'd have did it 2 or 3 times, I'd have been like, it ain't cool, but
I never once felt bad for him for a second, but for a brief moment in time during that accident story, I could at least see like how it could be rationalized from a sane person's point of view. But then you find out later on that it was more so just about spreading the seed because of that culty religion he was a part of.
Oh yeah,
and And
it's
the
not
fact
the
that he
it's somewhat similar to
the
Evangelese, but it's called the. She found that email address. Was the Front Healers, the Faith Forwards, the what was it?
Shit. What the fuck was it? I literally just saw it.
It's there.
Well, I don't remember, but yeah, that it wasn't about that for him. It was just about like literally fulfilling some religious obligation he felt like he had.
And this is what I want to know.
That the most fucked up part, though, was that he wouldn't have even passed the test to be a donor. That was like they were turning down people that were healthier than him, and he passed along these fucked up. And that's where it got his partner. Like now that if he was healthy, I could forgive him. But the fact that he did this,
he broke that Hippocratic oath. The Hippocratic
doctor,
oath.
Yeah, you're passing along diseases. That's evil.
That goes against everything we stand for.
That was where kind of my mindset was at. It's like, all right, I mean, it's not like what he's doing is wrong, but he's passing along good genes. He's a doctor. He's obviously got some IQ. But that one girl called it out. Like, I feel like he's just creating I don't want to say it, but an Aryan race. Like you guys do look like the children of the corn.
That documentary took a turn because I was 20 minutes in and I was like, all right, I know what this is about. Whatever, I'm finna go. But when they started laying out, they kept digging and kept digging. I was just like, this is some crazy shit. Think about this. You've seen the film Lost Boys now, and you know we're king of connections. I know you're like, what the hell does Lost Boys have to do with this? It made me think about they used holy water, and they were like, so I can't remember how they did it. They had to do something to make it holy water. And what made me think about that is he was baptizing people in his pool in his house. Is he making holy water in the house, like in the pool, like and then bringing people over?
Oh man, the non-denominationals will get in a puddle and call it holy and have a baptism service. They're really liberal about what's considered. It's just the performative action of it for them. It's not. But yeah, I get the joke. He's in there.
I think one of the most sickening things about it is that if you remove all the sexuality from it, all the demon, you just remove the sexuality from it. What his spirit and his mindset, you know, when people go to court and they have no remorse, it just reminds you of someone being elite because he does not feel he did anything wrong. It's like you said, that cult mentality, or if you're in a clan, or if you're in this or that, he showed no remorse.
I felt that court scene like that. That's exactly how I felt when we went to court with Stephen, when they were like, we had to get up and do our what was it, the victim impact statement. The victim, I got to read one of those. I had the same thoughts that girl had. Like, I'm going to make some kind of impression on the judge here. But they came back with all of these like testimonials from people in the community, and the judge was like, I mean, they had the Jaguars attorneys on their side. They had the money, and yeah, it was clear. Like I felt that scene. That was that was great. Like there was obviously collusion going on between the judge and the you can't like
she was basically saying,
community.
I'm so sorry this happened to you. Like, what the fucking kids are there?
Yeah.
Right there. And here's the thing. And it was some of the shit he was saying. I don't consider any of them my children. Like, God damn, dog.
Yeah, when he had them all sitting at the table and was trying to just kind of suss out, like, all right, how's my offspring doing?
You know what that reminded me of?
Who's
I don't know if you've ever
successful here?
seen the Umbrella Academy, but that's exactly how the dad on the Umbrella Academy treats his kids. They all have different powers, but he doesn't treat them like kids. He's always like trying to measure them out and see what they can. It's very disgusting. I'm gonna tell you another thing. It shone a light on was the definition of rape. Like, it was so crazy. There's this gray area of the definition of rape. Like, it had to be conceivable, knew it was going to happen. It had to be some force. And they're like, bro, no. Any child or person can look at this and say, this is criminal. You don't even have to call it rape. It's worse than rape. It's magician's rape. They didn't even know they were raped.
Oh, that was the fucked up twist for me when it turned out that that old couple that were like friends of his and went to Bible study together with him turned out to be the parents of like number 56 or 63 or something. The girl that saw Jacoby on Dr. Phil, and then her parents turned out to be the people that were being interviewed for most of the documentary, and they were just introduced as friends from Bible study.
Correct.
And then she was like, yes, I was also a patient. And then double twist, the daughter was also a patient who went in, and her dad is practically performing OBGYN shit on her. That's
sick.
They definitely paced it out perfectly to give you to somehow put a twist in a documentary. Like, oh, you thought, because 30 minutes in, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of kids. He's done this a lot. Where is this going? Because there's 60 minutes left, and holy shit.
No, there's 60 children left. Because we were probably at 34 by the time that story came out.
I think it was like 16 or 17 at that time. And it was still like, it's just nuts. He broke that old man that was in the couple that was like friends with him in Bible study, that was kind of trying to find some kind of rationale to it. He said, like, it's like a nightmare every day, waking up and you're just still in the nightmare. He looked broken. Like, that dude looked like he had just done.
Yeah, because in his mind, because guess what? He was probably a part of that old little cult thing too. But he was like, listen, I signed up for supremacy, bigotry. I did not sign up for this weird shit here. This is not American. This is weird. Like, it broke that fucking trust. But furthermore,
I signed up for you to put your stuff in other people's lives. Yeah, you crossed the line with mine.
You crossed the line, pal. What kind of friend does that? I'm going to tell you one other thing that really got me and bothered me. Like, one of the dads that I really felt bad about was, I think it was one of the first original girls. And you didn't see the dad, but you saw the wife say, I showed it to him, and it just broke him. Like, for your entire fucking life. And don't get me wrong, he still, in my mind, that guy still is her dad, because he raised her like he's for all intents and purposes, he's her dad. But it took something from him. Like, damn, I made something, and you didn't.
I thought about that. Like, you know, as a dad, like, the right thing to say is nothing would change if I found out that Adeline wasn't mine. But there is that, like, it's like, she is mine. And I couldn't imagine what that would feel like to just, like, nothing would change on the surface for me. I would still be there for her. But on the inside, there would be something that was deeply broken.
Right, because if you adopt a child, you know you're adopting one. But when you think you've made something, and again, don't get me wrong, I think we all have friends who thought they had a child, but not 38, 40 years later, you find out it's not your. Like, what the fuck? And furthermore, what the fuck is my reparations? Where's my restitution, bitch? You owe some hella child support, whore.
And the law is just so frustrating how black and white it is. Like, oh, well, it doesn't say anything in the book, so we can't do anything about this thing that is clearly wrong. Your feelings are validated, but it's not illegal.
To be honest with you, they need to do a whole overthrow. I mean, a full review, like whoever needs to come in and do a review of that whole thing. You can't tell me there wasn't collusion from the attorney. Like, here's the thing: if the attorney general doesn't call me or you back, I get it. One of us taxpaying citizens, one of us, and so they don't know us from Adam. But when a highly touted news reporter who looks like she's a chick who's used to getting down to the truth can't get a call back, you think she's going to stop? No.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. But all in all, it's 90 minutes.
The music made it. I was thinking about that, like, halfway through it, how, because it was a Blumhouse movie and they usually do horror films, and this felt like
it is a horror film,
but could you imagine if this came out like 15 years ago on Discovery or NBC or something like that? Like they would have had some cliche stock documentary music. It would have been just like any other documentary. Like they really drove home the like the part where they're in the park looking at each other. I heard
the score from Damien. I thought I heard the score from like Satan's Son or some shit like that, man. It was
disturbing. It was something that like would have went under kill.
And this is the fucked up part about it. And I tell people this all the time. If you're going to be an anti-Semite, if you're going to be a racist, if you're going to be a supremacist, just be great at what you do. No matter what you do in life, just be great. Don't be bitching up, calling the kids, talking about this can destroy me. And the girl was like, it sounds like you want me to lie. He was like, I do. I was like, God damn, dog.
I don't want you to lie. I just don't want you to tell the truth.
This could end my marriage.
On him. Yeah, like,
and furthermore, I want to see what the wife said.
Is this going to disrupt your life? My bad.
I want to see where the wife's at, because that lets you know how sick he was, because he instantly said, I guess if the being the lead part of the crazy crew wasn't enough, she was cool with that. But again, when you start, she was going to leave him. So where's the wife? She had to decline going to that documentary. She had to.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing they did a really good job with, is whoever, like the reenactment and the guy that they got to play the doctor. There was times where I couldn't tell where it was actual footage. Yeah, it was crazy.
I thought it was him. What was one of the other things that really freaked me out about that whole documentary, man? Like, put it this way: you can watch that thing 5 times and always find something new. It says it's 90 minutes, but you almost wanted to keep going, because you cannot. If anything, like I say, this trumps it being a documentary just about what he did to those kids. It really shows you. And this is what I want all of America to see. It doesn't, when people want to get away with something, it don't matter what color you are. They will fuck you over. Once people collude and they're in these positions, that's why he kept making, for all we know, he was sent, he's not even, they're sacrificing this motherfucker as the head of the snake. So we don't go up higher and figure out these motherfuckers are plants in every city. That's how they keep control. They're growing their own fucking kids. They're growing, they're literally making them, and these are the outcasts. He was like, wait a minute, we ain't got nobody smarter than this batch. Fuck. All right.
Keep going. I thought it was crazy, like the fact that he literally produced enough people to just, if all of his kids alone signed a petition, they could do something, or the Cline march, the Cline clan march. It would be like 100-person march just in his own children.
How about this? You're supposed to be so smart. How about this motherfucker here? Hey, do they allow guns in here? The fuck?
Oh, that was just like the old school Wild West days, where you show somebody the equivalent of showing somebody.
And you couldn't even buy a holster. Why is the shit sticking out? Like, what?
Yeah, when he came out of his house in sweatpants, like, what the fuck is that gun attached to?
Oh, and you know what fucked me up? I don't care what nobody say. Yet again, this is another example. We always talk about how when certain serial killers and people get arrested, they get arrested and black people get killed. He walked out of his house with like Billy the fucking senior citizen kid, and the cops.
And the first thing he said was, "Don't come any closer." Now he did follow it up with, "I have pneumonia, stay 6 feet away," or whatever. But when you come out with a gun and say, "Don't come any closer," that sounds like a threat.
No, it sounds like he said, "I got a gun on you." That's what he said. Yeah. But he did say pneumonia. But that's just, it's just flabbergasting. Now, Will, tell me what you think about this, because I don't know if you thought about it this way. Have 75% through it, I'm looking at all these kids, and I'm looking at how devastated they are. And I'm so happy that Netflix put that story out there. But all I could think about is like, damn, it really sucks. Because they did touch on it, like, look at this board of all white kids. He ain't making all these other kids since he wanted to give back. But what I was thinking about was, damn, they got their story told, and that was from one man who did this to him. I was thinking about all the kids and all the people who were born from rape and genocide and all that other stuff that happened to us. We ain't got no fucking documentary. You know why? Because they can't find the footage, because it's probably who knows where. So all the stuff that happened, but this documentary got made. So how it comes across from a certain point is, damn, these blonde hair, blue eyed people got this documentary made because they're so lost about what happened to their father. They're this guy that did them wrong. But I'm just like, there's like a 99% of the population, that percentage of the people that this happened to, that will never get their story told. So I'm not going to bark on it and say that they're wrong for making it. The story is the story. And if it helps shed light on this shit, great. But it's just kind of like, damn, I want to like this so much, but I know there are probably people, Indian women out there, black women, hell, other white women of a lower social status that are sitting out there like, wait a minute, why are they getting their story? So how did this make it to Netflix? Yeah, he's a sick fuck. But hey, he's not the only one. And remember they said 40 more doctors have been found? Yeah, found. Yeah. Y'all ain't doing no fucking research.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, that just from 23andMe. That's so there's 40 other doctors that have DNA submitted or some kind of connection to their DNA.
What did I call?
So
what did I call it?
Way more.
What did I say when they were like 23andMe? I'm like, no, 94 and more. That's why they said as of the time of the documentary, 90 fucking 4. That's
I will say the first son that they showed. I can't remember his name, but
big boy or the small?
The big one. He had a beard. I feel bad for everybody in it, but I feel like he's worse off than anybody. There's just something severely broken.
He got most of the genes. He got most of the genes.
I don't know. He just looks like he did not take it very well. Like everybody else seems like they're functioning through it, but he didn't even look like he could pull himself together enough for camera. But he looked like he was barely holding on.
This is the most important part of that documentary, and you just touched on it. Damn, I look good in this light. This is the most important part of this documentary. You just touched on it. And I'm surprised it got through. And we just spoke about it, but I need everybody out there to understand the levity of what actually happened. When he goes to that meeting to meet them, he's not there to threaten them. He has that gun, but whatever. He's not there to just cry or bullshit and lie. He is literally taking down, looks like metal statistics of what's happening with them. And all in my mind, I'm just like, you cannot tell me that this is not a part of something bigger. Like, hey, make sure you got the reports in by the end of the day. Like,
he looked like a scientist that was checking in on his lab rats that he injected with something a few months ago. All right. How's everybody doing in life in general? Any health problems?
Right. And it's like he almost was never going to jail or something like that. Even now, don't get me wrong, they probably didn't. It just sucks, man. How did he get that lets you know that the collusion's there. The fucking judge is there basically saying, oh, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. So again, what about that little girl from 1966? Bring that shit back up. That should have been enough alone. Why didn't he do jail time then? She darted out in the road. Says who?
And here's the fucked up part is how little oversight there was for that go on. For like that one guy said, he's like, how did this go unchecked? He's like, nobody knew. Please, somebody had to know. And that's what's like. Just on the radio today, they're talking about the vaccine, whether you want to get the vaccine or not, whatever. But just the way that they talk about it is so frustrating because they talk about it as if like. They're like, how could you not trust medicine? How could you not trust the science? Have we ever lied to you? Have we ever made a mistake that cost thousands or millions of lives? Like they're like, how could, it's perplexing. The one guy said this, one doctor, he's like, it's perplexing to me how you're trying to hand somebody a lifeline and they just won't take it because for some reason they won't trust you. It's like, because you're human. There's nothing that should escape skepticism.
Very much.
So. You're just because you question something, you're labeled like a conspiracy theorist, like a nut
that
job.
One guy said. What did the one guy say? If you ever cross him or question him, you're done. Remember the lady? She's like, I work with premature babies for years, and I try to tell him something. You like, you don't know anything. I'm like, who the fuck's talk to people like that? Are you kidding me? So you don't like women, not like that. And then
whatever you know, he knows more. I have a PhD in what I studied for.
It's fucking crazy, dude. Like, it is so. And here's the other part about it. Like, I'm gonna tell you who probably knew what was going on but didn't care because she wanted a kid so bad. It was that older, tall white lady who at the end was just like, I just wish she didn't say I wish I would have knew because I'm paraphrasing here, but she was the one that was like, I found it a little odd that every time I went there, it was just me and him, no matter what it was Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even on Sunday.
And to know he was putting me up in the stirrups and then going into his office and then coming back in still aroused.
Right. There is that
science to that can't be proven, but it's just known. Like, even though you came, there's still that window of time after jerking off where you're still in the haze and things are still sexual in nature just because of the fact that you just did what you just did.
You're there. And this is the thing.
Right,
the sad part about it is that we as humans have a rule that, well, I'll just say the U.S. have a rule that says, hey, when you're coming out that bathroom and you're about to fix these people's food, make sure you wash your nasty ass hands. But if you're finna go make a child and inseminate somebody, jack off. Come on out. Let's get that. Let's keep it going. Ooh, the fuck out of here. It is, bro. It sounds. It's sickening. It is, and I hate to say it, and I do not always like to make it about race, but I want to show levity in the situation. I just feel bad that I know it's happened to people, minorities, and the fact is that it took. Put it this way: if they're doing that to blonde hair, blue eyed white Americans, none of us have any fucking hope.
What do you think that tells you who the executives are that are making the decisions at Netflix? Kind of like Michael J. Fox doesn't care about Parkinson's until he gets Parkinson's. White people are the executives at Netflix, and they're the ones that greenlight something.
I wouldn't say that, because here's the thing. Whoever owns Netflix, who owns the company, trust me, it's proven what me and you know, that every day someone white, black, blue, and yellow, they actually have sex without raping people and inseminating them. And so each day, the majority, which was once all Caucasian, is now becoming the minority because people keep producing every day. So with that being said, there's no way someone who was in the collusion would have let this story come out. Not on Netflix. YouTube is one thing. The internet can be wiped. But Netflix, someone greenlit this, was like, yeah, this story got to get out here. It's almost like a Snowden type thing. Like, dude, if people don't see this and be like, I got to do my own research. Like, where the fuck is he still alive?
They said it in the documentary. They're like, if the justice system isn't going to do what they're supposed to do, then the least that we can do, and what we need to do, is just keep his name in people's faces.
100% correct. Everybody has a responsibility. I don't care what you are, whether you are a nurse, a cop, a janitor, an artist. And the reason why I say this, artist especially, because it brings levity, it helps people see what I'm trying to say. An artist who will never go to a protest, who will never speak out against anybody, but is a hell of a painter, can paint pain, can paint the truth to get the conversation going. Comedians like Dave Chappelle and George Carlin and Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, they can tell stories, and while it makes you laugh, it gets the old noggin thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how we have to do it.
It makes you cry. Makes you
let you live, let you die. And my point to you is this: is like, so let me get this straight. No jail time. He didn't get. I couldn't have been one of his fucking kids. I'd have been like, I am finna to slap the shit out of this dude as soon as he walks in. After I'm gonna slap him, then who knows what I'm gonna do next? Mm-hmm. Like, seriously, are you fuck? And these are the things he did that we know about.
Yeah.
We know. I want to know about these fucking pool parties at his house. Baptism, yeah, by fire. Are you kidding me?
You ever hear that song in church? The Father Abraham had many sons, and many sons had Father Abraham, and I am one of them, and so are you. So let's just praise the Lord. That should have been it. That should have been the theme song for the movie.
All I'm saying is, my people ain't write that verse. This is a very, listen, me and you, we research dark stuff all the time. We have conversations about stuff that's dark, and we try our best to hear each other out, listen, and sometimes we agree to disagree. Sometimes you change my mind, sometimes I change yours, and sometimes, like I said, we're just stuck in how we see stuff, and that's fine. That's what healthy debate is about. But this should be one of the most trending conversations going on right now, because at the end of the day, where are all these women groups out there who are against stuff like this? Like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously, like those women who miscarried and lost their child. And they kept saying, we all basically have an autoimmune disease. Well, when people start saying autoimmune disease, you're talking about lupus, you're talking about HIV, you're talking about shit. And then the fucked up part about it, somebody gave him a cure, and this sick fuck at least could have sent some type of postcard saying, take this, I'm sorry. He got well. Get well soon. Get well soon. And talking about it came from a doctor that wrote a prescription. Yeah, from the elite. Elite. Man, it's fucking crazy, dude. It is sad. Yeah. It's crazy. And it's like 90 some odd kids, all white, can't get justice. Oh, we're in a world of fucking hurt.
I think that's the note to end it on right there.
You got me all riled up now. I'm all hyped up on Casamigos.
was nuts. It was put together so good.
Oh, it was. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the crew. Yeah, let's give them that. Yeah, to the director, to the editor, to the sound guy. Like I say. So if you had to ask me how many fucks I give this documentary, I give this documentary 5 fucks, but a -5. The reason why I say -5 because the content is so negative, the subject is so devilish, and I hate what happened to him. Like again, a 5 for the crew. -5 for that's just how much they made me hate this. And hate is a strong word, but man, I felt for those kids, man. Take all the color and everything out of it. Like, damn, like just I would have rather you told me I was fucking adopted.
Yeah, there's no book deal like that, but at least they get a book deal.
And again, what about those kids who aren't talking about mommy and daddy? Maybe some of them are, hey, you know this guy's your dad? Yeah, I know. Oh, you're one of the smart ones. You're about to be promoted. That's why you mean to tell me 40 people ain't signed up for that shit? So we're missing 40 to 50 people who didn't want to be a part of this documentary. I'd have been right there every day. Everybody back to one. So that's what I'm saying. We can end it here. I know we didn't mean for it to be this long. This is the first time we really done this, but it really, listen, I got a daughter. You got a daughter. We got to protect these kids. The kids are always our future. But what we also have to realize is this. Kanye, if I can never invoke Kanye into a conversation, that's always good. Old Kanye said, hate the niggas marry, hate the bitches, and have hate the kids. With that same mindset, racist people have racist kids. So while me and you are teaching our kids to love everybody and see the world in a different place and become a better human, make the human race a better thing, there are other people out there who's spewing hate and racism from day one.
Well, I'm gonna quote the new Kanye and say he came on their Hampton blouse and in their Hampton mouth.
Now that's the fucking review. All right, brother, I'm gonna call you real quick and then we can,
All right.
You stop being weird, man. Hang up.
I'm trying. 10.